So we'll cover a bit on blood pressure, then a new way of deciding what is right diet, and finally a tricky question on fat or karma. Correct your question. So one of the mudras which is important for blood pressure is the calming uh, Naman mudra. So while breathing in, stretch your hands up and slowly breathing out. Go down. Then relax your hands, not stretched, and breathe slowly. Breathe out and stretch your hands. Come up breathing in and slowly release. So blood pressure, there are two reasons. One is physical and another is mental. So stress also can cause blood pressure. And in physical, there are various things that can go wrong in heart, in arteries, in kidneys. And depending on that, there are the types. That is why there are different medications. Beta blockers are there, calcium blockers are there. So thing is, first of all, blood pressure. There is nothing like a standard blood pressure. I do not believe that if average height of people in India is 5.5 feet, does not mean that someone who is 5 feet 7 inch, his 1 inch should be cut off, or he should be a surgery should be done. So everybody will have different standard blood pressure, is what I believe. Only when it becomes a seriously problematic situation, one can think of a curative measure. A curative measure means medication. Now, what happens is, suppose 120 is standard and somebody becomes 125. People say, oh, high blood pressure, and now you start taking medication. You need to see how dangerous the medication also is. There is a video I'll share later, which is like death by medicine. Medicines come with their side effects, and they will have their dangers, and so you need to weigh those dangers against the slight increase. So when it becomes really problematic, of course you need to go to chemically correct the situation. But for minor things, I think you should try and do it with yoga, with correct diet, and all kinds of serious problems I have seen being reversed if people follow strictly. So we'll start with Omkar first, then we'll take Kapalbhati and how to customize it. Exhale, fill in. Infinite vastness of the universe, complete darkness. Nothing, absolutely nothing except me. Alone, independent. Light gets lighted, lamp gets lighted. Center of my chest. Filling the whole temple with mind, divine light. Take the focus far away from you, where the light looks like a star with the same divine color. And I hear the deep gunjan of Omkar from the corners of the universe. You need to practice these things so that whenever you are just quiet, also you can experience this gunjan. Look at this source of light and bring your focus closer and closer. Half foot, 1 foot, slowly. You see it growing as you are moving towards it. Till the point. So we have, I don't know till where you went, but you, I had already merged with the light, the infinite calm, peace, bliss, the joy of just being yourself. And the gunjan of Omkar coming from corners of the universe. Uh, uh, experience the light right from your top of head to your hands, to your end of the fingers, toes. Every single unit filled with this divine light of knowledge and bliss. Exhale. Feeling. So I had explained Kapalbhati and like uh, air blowing for the ironsmith. That you blow faster and then inhalation is slower, and that you do even slower for the cases of high blood pressure. You can do faster for lower blood pressure if you want, but this is normal. And for high BP, you can do. So this is slower, but still my blowing is faster than my intake. So let's do 21 times from right nostril. Exhale completely. Feeling. Slowly exhale. Left nostril. Exhale completely And as you are breathing, you are thinking that ice is getting formed around you, because anyway you are using Chandra Nadi, which is cooling. Fully exhale. Fill in and watch the ice melt and take away excess heat from your body when you exhale. This, along with Brahmari, other breathing exercises, Omkar, the meditation, should be good enough to start your blood pressure getting normalized. I have done it and I've seen so many people reverse their blood pressure and diabetes with right yoga and correct diet. So, my first class, yoga class, where there was a Ayurvedic doctor who used to give medications. And he used to say Ayurveda is a great line of medicine. But you have taken extra efforts to get these diseases. You will have to do efforts to take them away. There is no medicine which will just come and cure. And I do not believe there is any brand which is having zero side effects. I mean, my simple question I ask people is that show me a knife which cuts only fruit and will not cut a hand. That's not possible. So anything that can do a positive thing can have a negative effect also. So best is that you have taken a lot of efforts to build this disease in you by doing wrong, unnatural behavior. You need to do exercise, you need to do other things to only in cases where it goes extreme, like somebody had asked for cholesterol, and I told them that a few percent higher cholesterol is no reason to go for cholesterol medication because they have severe side effects. They impact your liver function and your liver can be damaged over long period. So as far as possible, you can, for cholesterol, you can do exercises, good diet, vegetarian food, non-oily food, non-fried food, uh, and you can take Lauki juice, uh, empty stomach in the morning to help reduction in cholesterol. I don't know where and how and if we really get organic stuff, but if possible, one can go for that. Now, we'll skip Ujjayi and all that, but ideally you should do Omkar, Naman Mudra, then Omkar, then Kapalbhati, then Anulom-Vilom, Ujjayi, Shitali, Shitkari, then Agnisar. Agnisar we'll do this time, then Vayusar, Udyan, Bandh, and then Brahmari. Brahmari is the best exercise for normalizing all your heart and blood pressure related problems. Then I'll tell you something about a bit on acupressure also. So let's do Agnisar. Exhale completely. So let's finish Brahmari first. We'll do only 3 times. Full focus on your heart. Your heart needs to feel happiness in the heart. Ears, eyes closed, neck bent down. Straighten the neck. Remove fingers around the eyes. Then ears. So as I said, blood pressure arises due to different things. So you can look at these three fingers. Pressing any of these or a combination of these two or these two, you will have to figure that out based on what kind of uh, blood pressure is. They can give you temporarily. Usually these two should be enough, but you will have to figure out for your own kind of BP. Now you're pressing them. You can press them, or you can use some kind of uh, instrument to press it. Some kind of you can say hold, chimta. So that can give you temporary relief like medicine. But all acupressure things, I do not recommend acupressure for everything. It is a temporary and good cure, but it's not complete cure. Acupressure works on your reserves. So you have some reserves in your liver, some reserves in, you have reserve endorphins in your body. They come out in case of pain and they can relieve you. So acupressure brings out material from your reserves. But if you keep using it, there will be a stage when acupressure will stop working, and the reserves will be exhausted. So it is to be used temporarily only in case of urgencies. But otherwise, you should try and normalize by using Omkar meditation. Omkar itself is such a powerful tool to normalize so many things. Okay, so we'll take up the final Omkar. This time, you try and do the dharna by yourself. Exhale. Shant. You need to feel the singleness, independent of anything, aloneness, the dark, gunjan of Omkar, the light getting lighted, focus away, coming closer, taking around, and getting merged. So in 1 or 2 minutes, do it yourself. Merged in the divine light, I am the light. Pure, pure existence, pure self. Stress, anxiety, anger are not part of my pure self. Calm, cool, and blissful. Uh, Exhale, fill. We'll take dharma, sorry. Eyes closed. I find myself immersed in water till almost my eyes. Just feel the touch. Water is moving slowly around me. Very slow, but still I feel the slight push. Sometimes it touches my ears, but it is pitch dark. I can't see anything. The sky in front of me starts getting illuminated. Sun is about to rise. The edges of clouds have become red, crimson, golden. I see some rays pouring through the clouds. As the light is there, now I can take a look at the scene, and I find myself in the middle of a large river, a river that is flowing slowly to the east, where sun is rising. Both sides of the banks, there are trees, small shrubs, large trees, and some very tall trees. Everything is getting reflected in the water because it is so cool and calm. No ripple. Like my mind when it is at complete peace with myself. When my mind is clear, I have realistic, true, actual reflections of things that happen. When mind is not clear, there are ripples. There is a high chance that I see the things wrong. You see a tree with branches, one branch bent down, almost touching the river, so close to the water level that slightest of breeze and it would touch water. You see the reflection of that branch also in the water. Sun starts coming up, you start seeing the tip of the sun. You are enjoying the scene becomes even more beautiful while you are enjoying the scene. A drop of water falls in front of you, causing circular ripples going sideways, disturbing the perfect reflection. Now the reflection is not perfect, but still there is a pattern and you find it beautiful and you are still enjoying it. There are so many unrealistic things that one may perceive as entertaining. Then more drops start falling and heavy drops. It starts raining. Now the reflection is completely haywire, no pattern, nothing. Heavy breeze starts. Now there are large waves in the water. I'm trying to look at the reflection, not being able to balance. Remember we did Vrikshasana, Garudasana, standing on one leg and eyes closed. You lose balance. When I can't see anything What do I focus on? It's a bit of a stressful situation. There is fear. Fear, what if I go with the flow? What if I hit a rock? Anxiety is there. But then I remember this is just a reflection. I look at the original sun, clouds, trees, and now I am in position to correct my balance. Sun is rising, and so does the water level. And I am submerged completely. Now, how do I focus on it? Water is pushing me hard. Turbulent water around me. I remember something that I have, which is always stable, permanent, calm, peaceful. The built-in temple. I look at the inner divine entity. And now I don't even experience that I'm in water, whether water is slow or fast. Full focus on this divine self. As I calm down, the water level comes down and cools down. Now I can see the sun, trees, river, reflection, everything clearly. But my stronger focus is now within. Because these external things were changing. I need my focus to be on something which is permanent. So again, I go back, focus on the divine self. Exhale. Yeah. So I promised a novel idea on dieting. There is keto diet, there is protein diet. Is protein diet great? High protein, low carbs. How can doing excess of something be great? So I'll tell you Gautam Buddha's definition of poison. Anything in excess of normal necessity is poison. So you'll see even pride, money, anything, when people get it in excess, it shows its poisonous aspect. You have sweets beyond limit, you have that will work like a poison. So when you have proteins in excess, that definitely becomes a poisonous thing. You have so our body has reserves, as I said, that excess sugar can be processed by liver, excess fat can be converted into fat cells. Excess protein, there is no mechanism of processing and keeping it in the body. It has to be taken away and it has to be, and your kidney has to do work, a lot of work. And this excess protein, removing it is a stress on the kidney and can have impact on kidneys health. So I would not recommend an excess protein diet. So what is right? Keto diet, is milk good, bad? Let's come to that with a simple diet that I'll explain. This is a, you can say, ideal uh, way to check whether the diet is best, okay, good, or not okay. Take a condition where you have some person working for you. You want to write a book on a poetry book, and you have got a poet. He doesn't want to come, but you just caught him on gunpoint. You are hitting him with whip and saying, write poetry, write poetry. You think a greatest of the greatest poetry can be created by this way when the person himself is agitated. He feels he should die, but not work with you. But you are forcing him, you are not even letting him live, you are not letting him die. You think that will create a great poetry? No. Why am I telling you? I'll come to that. I'll take another situation. A man has kept a woman captive and he's forcing herself on her. Forcefully, he has made her his wife. Do you think the greatest, nicest, cultured child is likely to come out of this kind of relation? Best relation is when the employee wants to work and the employer wants to work. Both of them want exactly the same thing. They both personally enjoy doing that thing. It is like a boat being rowed by two people. One is in one direction, one in another direction. It will never go fast. If both have synchronized same goal, it will be a better scenario. If husband and wife both are happy in the being in the relation, you will have the best of the children. So yeah, even forced relations, children can be there, but they will not necessarily be the best produce. Now think, if you are eating something. So let's say take a case of eating chicken or a goat. Have you ever seen this animal being cut? They are so agitated, they cry, they shout, they are desperate to live, they try to run. Even after their head is cut, the remaining body runs because it does not want to die. Desperately not wants to die. But you want it because some people think that that might taste better. You think this is going to give you great health to you? Looking at the earlier examples, it is impossible that something, a forced relation cannot be a productive relation. But you will say that anything, I mean, where I eat wheat, again, I have to cut the trees, I eat anything. Some people in support of non-vegetarian had made fun saying that when you are eating apple, it is bleeding, the blood comes in your mouth, apple's blood, I mean the juice. So, so I'll tell you about fruits. What happens in case of fruits? A tree wants that fruit to be sweet. Tree wants some animal eats that fruit so that seed may fall somewhere and a new life starts. It is tree's way of reproduction. And when you are eating fruit, you are actually aiding the tree in its own goal of reproducing. Eating fruits is the most cooperative way of diet. And now this is a single mode of checking that if the diet is cooperative or not. If it is cooperative, as much cooperative, it will be better for your health. So fruits and fruit kind of vegetables will be definitely good for your health. Now, what about green leafy vegetables? They have been glorified everywhere that they are the best. No, they are second best because there also you don't have to necessarily kill the tree, you are cutting apart. But it is not necessarily a cooperative diet. We'll come to milk. People ask this question that Ayurveda says milk is a great food. It is a medicine. It is perfect for nutrition. Now, is the milk today useful and great? Does it fall in cooperative diet? Look at the industrial production of milk. Thousands of cows are kept captive in most unhygienic conditions. They are not free to move. They're kept pregnant forcefully by giving steroid injections. They just eat, just like the case where on gunpoint you are having a woman or something like that as a wife. It's a perfect case of for bad produce. Also, the steroids given are carcinogenic. So if you have seen, the number of cancer cases have increased multifolds in this generation compared to earlier generations. Look at the film stars also. Film stars in the older generation, they're 80s, 90s, they're alive. And new generation, there are so many cases of cancer. So I would say milk and chemical-filled vegetables is the biggest cause of increased cases of cancer. So then, was Ayurveda wrong? Absolutely not. Those days, the cow used to be part of your family, and people had actually a good family kind of relation with the cow. First, the calf would drink milk, and then giving milk, cow would not have any problem. This was actually cooperative relation that you were taking care of cow and the cow was giving milk, and there was no force involved, no steroids involved. With steroids, with forced impregnation of cows and killing those calves that are male cows, bulls basically. This is so stressful that the cows in captivity have half or one third of their natural life. That is definitely unhygienic. Here, in the case when it was cooperative, it must have been a great food those days. Today, even if some people have that kind of scenario where they have cows which are like family members, then I would say that that milk would not be bad, so bad like this post scenario. So the point is cooperative diet. Now you check. We don't have to discuss whether veg is right, non-veg is right. Simple thing. Is it a cooperative diet? Are both parties not harmed? Are both parties happy? Both parties happy is the best scenario, which is in case of fruits. In case of other seeds and other things, to some extent, it is trouble to the tree, but not so much harm because you are not slaughtering it. Now, imagine an animal, and you can imagine your own child in that place. There is a good chance that your child, if cooked properly, will taste great. Would you want to do that? What would you feel? What would the child feel when going through that kind of pain? Something that goes through that kind of pain is not an edible thing, not a thing that will give you your health a boost. That is for sure. Okay. People can ask questions on this later. I'll now come to the second complicated point. This is about fate and karma. So let's take a hypothetical story situation. Some people are standing on top of a terrace, 10-story building, a very tall building. And one person thinks that finally fate is there. Whatever happens is going to happen. If I am fated to die, and otherwise I won't. And he jumps from the 10th floor. He falls down, his bones break, and he dies on the spot. Now my question is, he was to die, so he jumped, or because he jumped, he died. Okay, do not quickly tell me that according to this book and this grant and this and that. No, I want you to actually think, because next time we are going to discuss this in more depth. That what is the root cause? Was it his fate? Was he to die, so he jumped, or he jumped, so he died? Think you can also discuss now also. You can unmute yourself and what is the thought-provoking question? And I want you to actually give deep dive into this thought that what is the truth? Is it 50-50, 50% in my hand and 50% was fate? We saw the cause and effect theory, right? Cause and effect is we said that everything has to have reason to be a scientific thinking. Then we took a case of a newborn baby being dead. And there has to be some reason in the past. So the past reason must be before this birth. So we gave this in support of the theory for rebirth. What could be the reason? That is where karma theory comes. We'll come to that, but first we'll go about fate and karma. That I do, so things happen. I'll study, so I'll pass. Or whatever has to happen is anyway going to happen. So yeah, questions on this or the diet or anything else or blood pressure?
Dr. Neetu Mandke was the best heart surgeon, and he himself died of heart disease, heart attack, sudden.
Yeah, correct. No. So Mandke was under the private information that I have was under tremendous stress. He had taken money from politicians, and stress is the biggest killer. There is no doubt about it. And surgery, okay, I mean, like surgery is a broken piece you are trying to join. Okay. And here we're talking about keeping the whole piece, the machinery, healthy and clean. So if my car is choked and then I go to the mechanic, he opens it and corrects or replaces some part. That is what Manke was doing. But does not ensure that he was taking great care of his own heart. Okay, so that nobody
ऐसा
could
है
hear
कि
us.
number of breaths are fixed for a individual's life, and once he completes that breath, उसका आयुष्य खत्म होता है. That is one of the belief.
Somebody breathes, he has 100 years of life. Somebody breathes slowly and makes it half the breaths per minute, which is definitely possible for a yogi. I haven't seen people living 200 years, so it doesn't happen so. But yeah, you are talking about fate. You would say number of minutes. Someone would say number of minutes are fixed. So you mean to say that fate had something, then he changed his breathing, and the fate was changed. Then that is not fate. So interesting examples come that one thinks I am making a change, but no, we'll not get into that. We'll come to this simple thing. Was he to die? So he jumped, or he jumped, so he died.
I think it is. Sorry,
Hmm?
go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, go on, go on.
Yeah, so I feel that there probably is a importance of fate, okay, which maybe created that opportunity, and the activity that was performed, okay, caused the death. I mean, I will take the example of maybe Cyrus Mistry. Okay, he met with a fatal accident, but there were 2 or 3 other people who survived that. Why was he the only one who was chosen, to meet the objective, that did? And not wearing a seatbelt is that there is another part, but it is something, of all the places he died, some at an obscure place. So I think there is fate. It's got a reason.
So fate is fixed, but fate by definition is fixed.
Yeah.
Correct. So one says that no, fate was so and so. I worked hard and I changed. So fate was such that he would work hard and make a change. That's how the fate was, right? Then it is fate. Otherwise, something changes is not called fate. Does that mean that your kids should not study and fate if he was to pass? So where does it go? Then people should stop doing karma. All other people also should have jumped from the terrace. That if they are to die, they will die. Yes, it is true. No, that some case it may so happen that there is a truck full of cotton is moving and he just falls in that soft cotton and nothing happens. He has a adventurous experience instead. So that is also possible. But so what is reality? If for a person who is jumping, you will say, no, don't jump, you'll die. Why are you saying that? Fate, if you say, okay, son, jump. If it's in your fate, you will be saved. So, do you challenge fate? Do you challenge karma? Or is it 50-50, 80-20, 90-10?
I think in this situation, it is the probability that karma would lead to an accident and was very high.
Karma or science does not go by probability. I'll give a very nice example. I give an example of a box. The whole universe is that box and one single entity, a ball. No friction, nothing. And it is just jumping. Tuck, 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 tuck. That is what is happening. Now you tell me after 5 minutes where the ball will be. I can do a simple calculation, tell you. 5 hours, yes. 500 years, yes. Still I can find out exactly where the ball will be. Is there a probability there? No. It's current speed and current motion and current situation, current weight, current rebound. These physical parameters decide its existence at any point of its fate. I can predict the fate of the ball anytime. Okay, because it was a simple system. Now there are 2 balls in the same box and they're going arbitrarily. I can do a calculation that after some time they are going to collide in some angle. So they are going to change their direction. That also I can find. Then again, they'll be moving through all surfaces, 3 dimension, may again hit sometime. And this will go on. Much more difficult calculation. People who are good at maths or physics will be able to find this. And again, they can predict fate of those two balls anytime in future. Now there are 100 balls, almost impossible, but with a computer program and all, you can still predict fate of 100 balls. If there were trillions of balls or infinite balls and huge space, and there were other things like blowing air and temperature change and so many parameters coming in, it would be impossible to calculate. When it becomes impossible for a human being to calculate, we take support of probability theory. But otherwise, if there was an infinitely capable calculation engine, it would be able to find out the fate of every single thing. Which we say, that people who have become all knowers would know all past, future, and present. Once you say someone knows future, that means it's fixed. Okay. Yeah. So we'll we'll deep dive into that. So yeah, wanted you to just think on what is the reality here. That there is no probability. Probability does not play a role anywhere. That is their fate. He was to die, so he jumped, or he jumped, and so he died. Okay, I don't want to answer now right away. I want you to think on this. And if you have any other questions on diet, want to challenge any of the points made. Cholesterol, if 10-20% extra, as I said, than the normal, I would request people not to go for cholesterol medication. They will have a stronger impacts. So just 5% more cholesterol at given border. Somebody had asked in earlier session that this border seems to be changing with time. Like earlier, let's say if it was 100, now they say 80, so that more people are above that. It's a business, so people will try to do that. So best way, as I said, is to try and work hard to correct your health. Rather than, yeah.
I have a fundamental question. Okay.
Yeah.
I have maybe about 45 minutes to an hour in a day, which I can, give for exercising and things like that. Out of these, what are the things that one should do every day as a must? And then, you can do certain things on some other days. Maybe, you can put a thought and tell about it, because can't devote maybe 2-3 hours every day, for this. So this is a practical situation. Which is there.
45 minutes is a good time. 1 hour is better time actually. And if this 1 hour spent well, you would sleep in 6 hours more than what you would sleep in 8 hours. Okay. First of all, you are saving 2 hours. Second thing is you will remember, you'll be sharper, you'll be focused, your eyesight will be better, your breathing will be better, energy will be better. Overall, you will gain many more than 1 hour. Okay. Now, what should you do? Breathing exercises you should do for sure. Omkar, undoubtedly. If someday you are so busy, nothing else is happening, you at least should do Omkar and spending this time with yourself, seeing the glow within. Glow is light. Actually, your nature is not light. I'm giving that as a analogy. Someday will be free of that light also, and the pure existence is something that you need to find out. But that's for advanced stages, very, very advanced stage when you talk of Atmanubhuti, experiencing the self. But before that, at least spending this time with yourself, that is must. And in that 45 minutes, you can do couple of asanas. You can change asanas every time. I had planned Sarvangasan, but my condition is not straight. You saw glitches in the Zoom call also initially. Because I have not slept for 2 days. I have gone to Dubai, from there to here. There's jet lag. I have not slept in the 22-hour flight. So, so the point is that you can, so I had planned Sarvangasan, which is very important. To end all exercise, Sarvangasan, you can do every day. Unless you have serious neck, spinal issues. So to end your exercise, near the end, you should do Sarvangasan. So We'll take it next time because I had not taken it for the first batch. It would be an imbalance. And next batch, I'm not sure. One of these days, while for a month I'm in the US. Sometime I may be traveling and I may take a break on some weekend because I have not taken a break. Wherever I'm traveling, I have gone in after doing our session, last session, and I have come on Saturday so that I can prepare for the next day and the next day do the session. So here things are not in my hands. Some of the things will be dependent on the people I am meeting. So I'll give you advanced notice, but sometimes I may possibly miss a session. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
So the question is that you can do basics every day. Asanas you can rotate. They are not compulsory. And if you have diabetes, then the diabetes related Mandukasana or Ardha Machindrasana you should do. If you have blood pressure, then you should do not 3 times, but more times Brahmari, up to 21 times. So these things you can decide on your personal cases. Yeah. Anything else? And please think about this, that how does it work in life? Is there a fate? Or is there like because I do it happens? Or in the case of that bouncing ball, is it ball's fate? That because I know what is going to happen, it is happening, or because it is going to happen, I am knowing. Sounds simple, but it's a complex subject, missed out by so many great percent of gurus. This structure of fate and karma is not understood properly. People who enjoy relativity and quantum mechanics can appreciate this kind of subject. Yeah, if nothing, I'll close. And if you think there was some part which was missed out, let me know. I'll just repeat that. I'm not sure what all was missed when I was going on talking, and I hope it's not a long time, just a few minutes. And I would like you guys to give sometimes feedback on group or wherever, whether things are helping, not helping, whether breathing has improved or not, whether they feel calm while exhaling slowly, or dharna, does it have any impact? Is it making them calmer, or it has absolutely no impact? So that I can try and go deeper, explain, and help you better. Thank you, guys.